Hello, I'm Mitch Wagner from Light Reading here at Mobile World Congress with Santiago Madruga. He is the head of Telco EMEA for Red Hat. Welcome.
Thank you very much. We are so excited to be here in Mobile World Congress one more year. And this is the biggest year ever with Jim Whitehurst making the keynote in the event and all the investment that Red Hat is doing over many years now for the telco industry especially. So very glad to be here with you.
So what does Red Hat have to offer telcos?
Well, Red Hat has to offer telcos the power of the innovation from the open source community, but really adapted to the needs of the telcos in their operational environment so that they can consume it with reliability, right? And we've been doing this for all vertical industries for 25 years now. We are very good at working in the communities of open source, then productizing all that innovation and delivering it to clients in a way that they can consume it with confidence. But and especially on the network side of telcos, networks can never go down. The reliability requirements, the scalability requirements, the performance requirements are several ways up to the data center typical requirements. And we've been working with the telcos doing R&D for the last 5 years, specifically in innovation areas like network function virtualization, to really come up with a standard that is now mature for them to consume. And this is really a cornerstone of what they need to do preparing for 5G.
So how is Red Hat different from other open source vendors?
For a start, Red Hat has been doing this for longest, with 25 years of heritage and experience working in the communities. We have a lot of respect in the open source communities, but also in the enterprise and mission critical production environments. Also, very, very important is that we are completely loyal to the upstream first philosophy, where everything that we do for our clients has been first adopted in the mainstream community, in the open source community as the standard. So we don't fork the software, and we keep very loyal to our principle of delivering solutions that are really based on upstream first code.
So NFV is an important open source emerging technology to telcos. How far along is that technology?
It is here. We are in production projects in many clients in all the continents. There are public news around Orange, for instance, going now in production stage with NFV, with Red Hat here in Spain, where this event is taking place. But the same is happening in every country with the major telco operators everywhere. So after years of investment and R&D and the first experiences and many pilots, now people are really delivering this in production in mission critical environments with all the reliability that is required and all the support that they need to run this with confidence. And this is now a reality. It's no longer testing.
So security is very important, always, and especially more so today. How important is it to you and your partners?
I mean, security, together with other fundamentals like performance and reliability, are cornerstones of what we have to deliver. It's no good to have the functionality if it is not secure, not reliable, not scalable, if it does not perform adequately. So we have, again, been investing on this since really the foundation of Red Hat as a company 25 years ago, because Linux, which is the foundation of all the other technologies that sit above, needs to be very, very secure because it runs on military service, on networks, and on basically every mission critical system in the world. We have been working with state agents like ANSSI in France that is setting the security level for telecoms to meet the requirements and get their security certification. And at the same time, we work with the military agencies in the US, in Russia, in Israel, and our systems are certified against telecom-specific industry bodies and the military bodies of all the world. And we can do it because of our heritage with Linux. Because really all of the other components like OpenStack, which is very much on fashion, everybody talks about OpenStack, like containers, which is again a new technology that everybody's adopting and is critical for these environments. All of these are rooted into Linux, and at the end they access the hardware and the systems through Linux. So you need a lot of expertise on Linux in order to secure your systems and really certify that they are secure end to end, and that's what sets again Red Hat apart.
Okay, so let's look into the crystal ball. What kind of emerging technologies and bleeding edge technologies are you seeing out there that's interesting?
Well, everything that we are discussing is now real and production projects are happening, but are not yet at a scale. And I think in the coming years, the industry will see the deployment of all these technologies at a scale to accommodate for 5G, even though many of these technologies and NFV itself has benefits already on 4G. So we don't need to wait for 5G in order to benefit of all these innovations. But really the full benefit we'll get on board when 5G is a reality, right? And this is what the industry has to do in the coming years, deploy all of these things at a scale and standardize so that they can run it efficiently. This will enable a number of innovations for the end clients, like computing on the edge, and new types of services that will benefit from this edge computing and low latency services that are dependent on these technologies that we've been discussing.
So you mentioned containers. How is that important to telcos?
Well, containers is a key technology in the IT space in general, and the whole industry is moving towards containers in all enterprises. But again, when you think about 5G and you think about computing on the edge, then containers are a cornerstone of the new architectures because you need light computing on the edge, and containers is the lightest footprint infrastructure that you can put at the edge of the network. And at the same time, with the technology that Red Hat provides, you can manage tens of thousands of containers, which is very important to scale in an operation where there will be a large number of computing nodes distributed in a network. And again, we are at a point in the maturity of the technology where Red Hat can provide this with confidence in aspects like you were asking before about security, performance, scalability, but especially security, because at the end, containers are Linux. And our expertise on Linux and our skill set on Linux and our heritage on Linux gives us this ability to secure containers and provide the confidence that networks require. There's a lot of hype in the industry about containers, and like everything, there's a lot of good around containers, but you also need to partner with the right company and the right technology because it's a very new technology and not everybody fully appreciates how rooted it is into more traditional technologies like Linux. And for the security discussion, this is also relevant. So it's a great technology, very much needed. It is coming, it is going to happen. The world is going to be run in containers on the IT side and on the network side. But at the same time, there are more implications to going into containers than one may think. And a proper discussion around these topics is what is needed. So I encourage all the audience to engage with Red Hat and have that proper discussion if they have an interest in containers.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thanks to you, a pleasure.